This video is going to save you and your family a ton of time stumbling and fumbling around the Telluride Ski Resort trying to find your way. Today we focus on specifically beginner trails, whether it's day one and you've never skied before in your life, whether you are an adult or a child. I'm going to show you exactly where and how to get started. Secondly, we're going to go ahead and take you through the best parts of the mountain to make you feel like you really got the full Telluride Ski Resort experience. Make sure to stick around to the end where I show you my 3 favorite ski runs for beginners. Again, whether you're with kids or adults, they are absolute crowd pleasers. There's actually a 4th bonus run, and most importantly, one of the runs, the one that cannot be missed when skiing in Telluride, is marked improperly on the map, and I show you exactly where it is located to make your first day on Telluride Ski Resort an absolutely phenomenal and memorable one. If you are watching this video, you likely watched our previous video, which was all about an introduction to the town of Telluride and specifically the ski mountain. Now, that video really focused on the mountain as a whole and was a light touch on the beginner, intermediate, and expert ski terrain that you can find on Telluride Ski Resort. I'm Ryan Yassine. I hope you enjoyed your time with my brother and business partner, Johnny. Now, this is kind of a tricky topic because beginners can range from my 2-year-old when she first started all the way up to adults. Okay, so let's dive in. Telluride Resort is 23% beginner terrain of our over 2,000 acres. That is about 460 acres. So my point is there is plenty of beginner terrain. A lot of our terrain is designed in such a way that we still don't get a crowded Chinese style downhill that feels unsafe for a big group. Telluride spreads out really well, and furthermore, you have half the mountain that's designated for beginners and separate from a lot of the expert terrain, and they intertwine at the base. Once we get into the map, you'll see what I mean. Additionally, Telluride is a really great mountain to learn on because you can start with your first day skiing and explore as far as you want to go. So if you're skiing with folks who really have that natural ability and talent, they can go and wander off and still meet you at the base area to enjoy family time, hot chocolate, lunch, etc. Now, I'm going to introduce you to the Telluride app, and this is going to be a really great addition to a successful trip. I highly recommend you download the Telluride app. Why don't we switch that direction now? Telluride app. Now, this app is fantastic for anyone and everyone. It has things ranging from your trail maps. You have a village map that does break down different amenities all the way from dining to your accommodations. And there's obviously a contact page, so if you are in need of ski patrol, etc., you could find that here. You can see we just opened 3 days ago, so a lot of our lifts are still closed, and those are marked with X's. To make this a little bit more simple, I'm going to go ahead and pivot to a screenshot and we'll work from there. But notice that they demonstrate how long the lift lines are. This is awesome. I've never seen this estimate to be more than 10 minutes, and if you have skied anywhere else, especially on the Front Range of Colorado, a 30 to 45 minute wait is not uncommon. We don't have that here. It's harder to get to, and that keeps our crowds down and you skiing from the beginning of the day all the way through to if you like to because beginner actually has such a wide range of skill level. We're going to start from the beginnerest of the beginners, and that would be those who have never skied before in their life, or potentially those who really are teeny tinies and can hardly walk. There's great places for both of those skier types, and they would be the 3 magic carpets. Let's go ahead and zoom in. I'll show you exactly where those are. Now, in another video that you can find down in the comments, we'll discuss the Telluride free gondola. This free gondola is perfect transportation for fun down in town or in Mountain Village, and at its terminus in Mountain Village, you're right about here. Now, that free gondola ends, and just immediately below it, pinched in between lift 4 and the gondola, about in this zone, is the easiest of the 3 magic carpets. I'm talking maybe 30 yards of skiing, little to no pitch, and that is where you're gonna bring the teeny tiny kiddos to get their first taste of free sliding fun. Now, pivoting over to our second of the magic carpet rides, we go to the top of lift 1 at the Chandala. Now, at the top of lift 1, there is an easy way to get there. I've always just walked from the free gondola through the bridge right here, and that little skier man would be the magic carpet. This is a little bit longer. There's a little bit steeper of a pitch. Thinking about maybe 50 to 60 yards of skiing. Still a great way to thin the crowd out, get those ski legs under you, and as you progress through the day, you have immediate access to the third and final magic carpet, which is about 100 yards. It's called the Caterpillar. There's a big dome, and which is great for those cold days, right? Now that third and final magic carpet is listed here. So we had 1, 2 magic carpets and 3, and they get progressively harder. It's a longer ride, so that gives your legs a little bit more of a break, and it is super easy to progress from this lowest space all the way down and jump on the Chandala, which is also known as lift 1. This is the Telluride Bunny Hill. Now, if you get to the point where you have completed all 3 of these magic carpets and you're feeling pretty comfortable, it's time for you to advance onto the Chandala. For little kids, this is a huge hack. The Chandala is called the Chandala because every 6th lift is a miniaturized gondola. So if you are like me and you're feeling nerve-wracked about putting your tiny kiddo on a lift and having to hold on to him for dear life, you can just hang out and wait for one of those gondola cars, and then you're in an enclosed space. It's a great place to have snacks, warm up, and take it back up to the top. Now, once you've progressed through those 3 magic carpets, the best and easiest way to get down the hill on a longer format run is to take this Peaks Trail. So as you go underneath the bridge, take that right hand turn and go past magic carpet number 2 and just follow that all the way down. All right, moving on from the Bunny Hill Chandala lift 1 area, we're gonna talk about lift 10. Now, lift 10 is phenomenal because there's so much ski terrain and the runs are so long and extended that you can feel like you had a whole ski day after maybe 2 or 3 runs, especially for those whose legs have not really developed and built those ski muscles up. So the beautiful thing about the lift 1 and lift 10 intersection is they actually share this base area. At that base, you do have a restaurant called Big Billy's. They serve a lot of really kid-oriented hot chocolate, different nachos, basic ski snacks. That is also a great place to use the bathroom, especially after these long runs. As you can see, lift 10 right here is by far and large the longest lift. This can be a really great thing because your legs are gonna be feeling it once you get from top to bottom. So that long lift is a great place to relax, recollect, talk about maybe what went right, what went wrong, and research what your next run is gonna be. So top of lift 10 at the Village Express. One thing that I experienced a lot having raised my daughter on this mountain was the cold. And once you get to the top of lift 10, it's really important to point out that you have these warming huts, okay? When you get off at the top of lift 10, either to your left or to your right, you have a pretty large yurt, and that is a great place to sit down, warm up. They have water available, there's bathrooms available, and there's also large tables to sit down, have a snack, recollect, especially after those long lift rides. Now I'm going to come back to lift 10 because that is maybe more of your intermediate beginner style, and we're going to really focus now on lift 11. This is the coolest lift. This is the best place to teach your kids. Lift 11 is the Ute Park lift. Now this entire lift takes maybe 3 to 5 minutes on a ride up, and as you can see, there's just a handful of runs that have little to no pitch, so it is perfect for you guys. But most important, you feel like you really made it to the back bowl here. So stunning scenery, big backdrop. Usually those lift lines cut down a ton, not that there is ever much of a line anyway, but you can get a little bit into the tree skiing. You also have a beginner park both on both sides of lift 11. So if your kids really like to see these big whoops and maybe try hitting a tiny jump, that's a great place to do it. They're built in such a way that you're not really catching much air. It's a very family-friendly, fun-oriented, and because you're at the top of lift 10, the Sunshine lift, you still have access to all those warming huts. One other comment on lift 11 is you're probably thinking, well, Ryan, you just told me that lift 10 is a huge lift. That might even be a day finisher. And if I didn't bring snacks, what am I going to do for food? Now, lift 11 and lift 12 have a really nice and easy flow between them. And at the top of lift 12, you have the high camp warming hut. This is a great place to grab a snack. And as you can see, to get from the top of lift 11, you go down Little Maud and Madison, back up lift 12, and then come back on this Galloping Goose to the Lynx lift. Now, the Lynx lift is kind of challenging in a way. You're gonna have to sit and talk with your crew to decide whether or not this is gonna work for you all. It is a rope tow. Younger kids can definitely pull it off. I would say maybe 3 to 4 years old is ready for it. It's a rope tow style lift that you grab onto. It hauls you back up to the top of the Ute Park lift 11. As I pause here, guys, I want to make sure that if you're finding value, please hit that like, subscribe, and comment button. I'm going to jump in and share with you my daughter's 3 favorite lifts and runs on the entire mountain, especially when we were breaking through that beginner stage. So if you have other suggestions, put those in the comments and make sure to look at that description so you can see our other videos, including the intermediate specific video as well as the expert specific video. If I'm out skiing with my daughter, and we've been doing this since she was about 2 years old, our go-tos are typically on lift 10 and lift 11. Of course, we spent tons of time on lift 1 and using that chandala while she kind of built up that strength and learned how to sit still and quietly on the lifts. My key for you parents out there is skiing with toddlers is more about the snacks than it is the skiing. So make sure that you come prepared. You want to build a positive association. Now, the best place for you to ski is, again, I would take lift 10 up to the top and then hit lift 11. Ute Park lift is a great and perfect place to get started. You feel like you're out in the middle of the woods and like you really got to see the whole mountain. This Nelly run right here is absolutely so stinking cool. It's a great place for progression. Very, very few people ski it. It's basically one long cat track. You have a forest on both sides of you, and these kids tend to cut in little side jumps on both the left and the right hand side. So as you start wanting to introduce a little bit more of a tighter skiing situation and more whoops to make it fun, that's a great place, but you never have a steep pitch. Now, after enjoying a couple laps on the Ute Park, the best kept secret is this heritage trail. Now, funny enough, you'll think that doesn't look very beginner. I see that that's a blue. I have observed over the last couple of years that the heritage trail is probably a blue for adults, but it's more of a green for kids. And the reason why this is such an incredible space is because they have set up all these teepees and little ski-through huts, and they take you on a journey through time. So there's a plaque at the beginning. It tells you about the Mountain West, and it's all tied to Telluride's history. Now, for those who are skiing with kids, like I said, it's probably harder for adults because to get through all of the little structures, you are confined onto this track with really tight turns. The kiddos have no problem with this. They build up a big bank over the course of time, and the kids just are kind of forced into this turn. Adults struggle with that because we have longer skis. So just a friendly reminder, you don't have to stay in line with the trail that's created. Feel free to bust out over that and stay off to the side. But the Heritage Trail cannot be missed. It is absolutely fantastic. One thing to note on this map, the Heritage Trail has been put in the wrong place. To hit the Heritage Trail, you actually go into this grouse glade. It's really easy to find as you get off the top of the Sunshine Express at Lift 10. Take a right and just hug the tree line on the skier's left-hand side. There's only one run. You take that left and keep your eyes out. You'll see a massive structure at the beginning, and that's the beginning of the Heritage Trail. Now, my third and final favorite is the Enchanted Forest. Now, similar to the Heritage Trail, it reads as a blue. I'm telling you guys, super simple skiing. The blue is probably rated because there are trees here. However, there's nice wide alleyways, so you're not forced to go into the trees at all if you don't want to. Those alleyways do have optional structures as well, but one reason we really love this is the Enchanted Forest has a surprise around every corner. They have put up little faces on the trees. They have decorated some of those trees. There's tons of big whoops for kiddos, and there are those structures for you to play in and pull over and stop. There's even a little teepee that you can have lunch in. We have dedicated this and named it the Sky Fort. Here's a photo for you to check out. If you find the Sky Fort, let us know, and make sure to share the space with other skiers. One bonus, coolest thing on the mountain for beginners is actually located here on the Bridges run. Bridges is super simple to get down. As you can see, the majority of the highlights are focused higher up on the mountain at the top of Lift 10, but the Bridges has a really cool feature where as you come off of the Galloping Goose Trail and make that right-hand turn, you get into this section where there's this natural half pipe, and you'll see that all of the ski school teachers go through this as well. And these kiddos just absolutely love carving off the sides, going left and right until they hit the bridge, and then it's a straight, easy shot to connect back to Lower Galloping Goose, and you're back down at the base of the meadows. All right, sorry in advance for the shameless publicity, but if you're on Lift 10 and you see a house or a condo that you like, you know how to call. All of our contact information is down below. I hope this helped, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.